the heart of Texas, nestled between the gleaming towers of wealth and sun-scorched roads, there exists a hidden realm that even the police fear to enter. A city within a city, a silent hell where the law is dead and humanity breathes only with a frail flame. This is the home of those who have no home. Men and women erased from the map of society, living beneath bridges and among ruins, in the darkness of drugs, crime, and despair. Our camera steps into a world that people flee from, a place where every sound could signal the end. Every glance could be a threat, and every heartbeat a final reminder of humanity. This journey is not merely about seeing. It is an experience of confronting true darkness. The Texas sun has yet to rise, but in an unnamed corner of the city, life begins in the shadows. The smoke of cigarettes mingles with the cold air, revealing faces that seem to have returned from a long battle. There are no uniforms, no flags, no missions, only an unrelenting struggle for survival. Locals refer to this area as Shadow Field, a homeless camp in South Austin, where time has stopped and civilization has retreated. The streets are filled with tents and trash, broken belongings, photographs of the past, and the unceasing sounds of fighting, or the whispers of crying. In one corner, a woman with gray hair shouts softly, "We are alive, even if the world does not see us." And the narrator, amidst these cries, questions their own steps. Do we have the right to witness this reality when witnessing itself might be a form of trespass against others' pain? In the shadows of concrete bridges, groups have formed, each with its own rules. A place for addicts, a place for families who have lost their homes, and a place for those who have come out of prison with nowhere else to return. Police say that entering this area could cost you your life. Here, the law has its own rules, they say, and these rules are brutally simple: either survive or perish. At the center of this lawlessness lives a man named Marcus, once a mechanic. The camera pans to other faces. Laura, a mother of two driven from her home due to debt. Jeremy, a former soldier who struggled to understand peace after returning from war. Each has a story rooted in social failures rather than individual weakness. Laws, economics, and a system that first built them up and then cast them aside. The documentary delves into the inner layers of this world. A drug black market thriving next to a water tank. A man's effort to build a small school inside his tent. A child drawing the sky on a piece of cardboard, saying, "I want to be a teacher." A fragile hope, like a light filtering through the cracks in metal. But every time hope emerges, darkness quietly returns, with the sound of a shout, a police officer shining a light from outside, or an explosion of anger from within. In one scene, the narrator looks down at the camp from the top of a dirt hill. Hundreds of tents, smoke, trash, and a cold silence seem to weigh down upon all life. This is a humanitarian crisis, not a social one. The narrator's cold voice resonates. Yet we watch it with indifference, believing that homelessness is a choice, not a consequence. Social analysts speaking in the documentary point out the visible roots: skyrocketing housing prices, a decline in mental health programs, and public distrust in government and law. In Texas, thousands are driven to homelessness each year. Some have families, former jobs, memories of peaceful times. Yet their lives have been condensed into a tent. Everything they are packed into a plastic bag. The narrator continues with a calm yet penetrating voice. We always talk about debt, crime, or addiction, but we speak less about the failure of society. Homelessness is not merely a condition. It is a collective message, a silent scream from the depths of civilization that tells us we have forgotten what it means to be human. The next images showcase the contrast between two worlds. On one side, the shining towers of Austin with upscale restaurants, and on the other, a man sitting on dry ground, sharing a piece of stale bread with his friends. The camera slowly moves through small flames lit by the homeless to keep warm, the flames reflecting in their eyes, a small light in the midst of great darkness. As the documentary progresses, tensions rise. A group of outsiders enters the camp with the intent of illegal filming. Shouts erupt, knives are drawn, and the shaking camera captures reality in a tremor of rustling. The narrator's voice returns. This is not freedom. This is a break from order. Yet, in the heart of this chaos, there is something that keeps humanity alive, belonging, even in darkness. Over time, the narrator gradually realizes that this space is not just an image of poverty, but a mirror of society. The very fear that others have of entering it may reflect a fear of confronting the true face of America, a country whose dream of freedom lies buried in the shadows of inequality. The camera leaves Texas, but the weight of this world lingers in the mind. The final image is of a woman standing facing the sun, with tired yet vibrant eyes, and in the background, the sound of the wind whispers, "Even in hell, hope still breathes." This documentary is not merely about poverty. It is about being human. It is about a society that has chosen to close its eyes to avoid seeing the pain. But pain does not vanish by shutting our eyes. This video is an invitation to see, not just to watch, to reflect on how thin the line is between home and homelessness. If these images have moved you, take a small share. Awareness, dialogue, support for charities, or even sharing this message. Every step, every voice, every glance can be a light in a place where darkness reigns. Because silence is more dangerous than any hell.